The Motor Ombudsman in the UK is back again with some interesting research that's showing a bit of a generational gap in car confidence. But what does that mean? What are the findings of this survey and what do I think about it? Let's dive into it. So, with the arrival of the new 74 registration plates just around the corner, a census-wide poll of 1,000 UK drivers commissioned by the Motor Ombudsman has revealed generational differences in consumer car confidence when it comes to buying and owning a vehicle. The latest findings also have been used to create a new series of Motor Ombudsman barometers to highlight how the dial can shift on a yearly basis between age groups. So just a few things to compare from outside the UK. So the 74 plates, basically that refers to the number plates that are handed out. So in March of whatever given year it is, so for example this year it was 24, the third and fourth digits of a UK number plate will be 24 if the car was produced between March and the end of August of that year. Then the second half of that sort of rolling year, from September to the end of February, that is when the 74 comes in. So the 74 plates start on the 1st of September basically, so people just want to have a car that looks newer, so people pay more for it. And it also works the other way too, because people who want cheaper cars just wait until the number plates are no longer the newest anymore. Also, the Motor Ombudsman is basically the kind of like the statistical office of the UK motorists. It's basically what people, they do research on it. There's a bunch of ones like this as well for other industries, but this is the one for cars. So, with the growing choice of makes and models available to motorists, and with cars often being the second most expensive purchase after a home, yeah, true, going it alone and navigating the car buying process solo from start to finish may prove to be a daunting prospect for some. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a scary thing for people who've not done it before, and unfortunately there are some dodgy garages out there that will give you a pretty crap deal. I mean, my first car, I was assured that it was absolutely fine, no problems with it, but it absolutely just fell apart constantly. It was always in the garage, always something breaking. Just makes you think that there's no way this guy could not have known about it. I mean, he even had a personalised number plate saying Del Boy on it. I really should have seen the red flags with that, but I really liked the car as well. As annoying as it was, I did love that car. But unfortunately, it's in the big scrapyard in the sky now because it properly broke about a year after buying it. On this subject, the research showed that nearly 3/4, 71% of Gen X's, which is basically like late 60s to mid 80s, I think that's the kind of time frame there. If you're born around then, you're a Gen Xer. They would be most inclined to enlist the helping hand of others, followed by around 67% of Gen Zers. So those are like after millennials, those are like year 2000 onwards basically. And millennials, Gen Y, which is me, that's 67% as well, the same there, and 66% of baby boomers, where the latter group may have more car buying experience under their belt versus peers. Yeah, definitely experience counts here, because if you're a bit longer in the tooth, you're more likely to have spotted some dodgy things at the end of the day. You've got a keen eye when it comes to that stuff. It's always the old people checking their receipts after they bought something at the supermarket. They've always got it there, like that, getting the spectacles on and having a look at it. We don't care, our generation. We just pay and just move on, basically. When it comes to knowing what fuel type would be best for them, 84% of boomers would feel safe in the knowledge that petrol or diesel powered model would suit their needs, compared to 76% of millennials and 73% of Gen Z drivers. So basically, younger people are more inclined to buy electric cars. Not really a surprise. However, when acquiring an electric vehicle, the tables turn, with Gen Yers and Gen Zers leading the charge in terms of being the most self-assured, where around 50% of respondents in these generational groups have the peace of mind that adopting pure battery power would be the ideal method of propulsion, albeit there is a little more hesitation from these groups with foregoing an engine. In addition, with this technology being relatively new to the market compared to filling up the pumps, confidence in getting behind the wheel of an EV falls to around 1/3 of Gen Xers, or around 1/5 for those aged between 59 and 77. So those are the boomers, I believe, at that age. So yeah, interesting for sure. And there's a full article here on the motoringchronicle.com if you want to go through it in more detail than what I can in my 5 minutes here. But it makes sense. It does make sense. More experienced people are more self-assured when it comes to buying cars, and they're less self-assured when it comes to buying electric cars, because it's a newfangled and new technology that just kind of goes over a lot of their heads, really. That's just the way it is. I'll be honest with you. I'm not keen on electric cars, and I'm young, so there are definitely people that come outside of that mold. But at the end of the day, the data does not lie. Like I said, link to the article in the description. If you're on Microsoft, look up the motoringchronicle.com. I can't put links in the description, unfortunately, but yeah, go search up the generational gap in car buying habits. So yeah, see you soon, guys. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and of course follow, like, subscribe and ring the bell as well to see much more content just like this on themotoringchronicle.com.